Hey guys, I've just completed my first faction transport mission and I would like to share my experience here. So, a friend of mine suggested me to try out the faction transport mission and I thought, why not? We gave it a try along with another friend of ours a few days ago. We, of course, tried out the smallest cargo transport first. That requires us to purchase 3 materials from the market, which costs about 150k in total. These materials are used to buy the contract and then we can proceed with the transporting. So aside from the 150k we are always required to invest, we are also required to invest in the amount to be able to carry the cargo since they are relatively heavy. I bought a tier 5 winter bear that costs around 270k, and after preparation we headed out. And I thought I should mention this. Since each run requires a 150k investment and it yields 50k profit, you will need around 3 completed runs to be able to have 0 loss and only profit after that, because the 50k times 3, it cancels out the 150k investment initially. So the whole thing took about 10 minutes and it yielded us 50k in terms of profit, as mentioned before. This means theoretically, if you keep doing the smallest cargo transport mission for an hour, you can earn up to 300k. Okay, now this is the review part. I'm not gonna lie, the journey was very boring. I mean, I had friends to talk to, but if I was doing this with like 4 other strangers who I do not communicate with, I would be yawning real hard then. You're basically spending 10 minutes traveling through areas and areas, then doing the same thing to go back and collect your rewards. I think dungeons are a little bit more fun as there are actions and chest drops that are exciting as well, given that you get some ultra good loot. I mean, most of the time we get trash only, but you know, dungeons. And also, dungeons give us fame and faction points as well. Therefore, I would recommend that if your goal currently is just to earn silver, then transport missions might be your thing. However, if you are new, I believe dungeons would suit you better. And after that, here are some tips I believe that would help if you are looking to do a transport mission. So the first thing is that you should always group up to avoid getting ganked, since carrying cargo makes you a high value target of the hostile factions. Group up via faction or guild chat, or just text your in-game friends. I did my transport mission with 3 people, though I would recommend 5 of you to be safe. And each of you should have tier 5 gears and tier 5 mounts to be able to combat attackers or just escape ganks. Next up, avoid red zones as you will potentially lose your mount and equipment as well. If you have to take a detour but you get to avoid the red zone, do it, unless you're rich enough to take the risk and you want to shorten your run by a few minutes maybe. But the risk of losing your equipment and mount increases your potential loss, and it would seem like transport missions are no longer worth your time and effort. There are of course bigger contracts that involve bigger cargoes. Those require more investment in the materials and mounts. And of course, your profit increases but your risk does too. So enemies are able to see what type of cargo you are carrying, and if you carry more, they will prioritize you as the target. And that concludes my review or my experience in transporting faction transport mission. And again, in summary, transport missions are great for silver farming. So if you're desperate for silver, go ahead, give it a try.